And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We are celebrating today. Our celebration calendar is a little bit slow. It's April Fool's Day. Maybe somebody's playing a game with me on the calendar here. It's going mighty slow this morning, so we might have to come back to our celebration of the day as I wait for that to come up. But let's check and see what the markets are doing. We're looking at, it's been a volatile morning, mostly for the good side. The stock market up 240 points as we speak. It had been opened up about 200 up, then it went to about 140, 150. Now we're up, like I say, 240 points. It's going to be a fascinating day. The S&P 500, that's up 2277. NASDAQ up 6686. So when we watch all of these different numbers, one can really get a bit confused by watching the numbers in the markets. And that's why we like to chat with you about them. What do they mean? How do we decipher what's going on? How do we profit by what's going on in the market? Can we profit with this market? And a lot of it's going to be predicated on watching what happens as we move toward Friday and the all-important jobs report. That's what comes out the first Friday of every month. We get the jobs report. That's going to be the telling sign. And last month, if you remember, it was pretty poor. So it'll be fascinating this month to see, are we going to get a better report, or is it going to be equally as poor as it was last month? Are we going to get a correction to it? We did see that the retail sales numbers came out less than favorable in the markets this morning when those were reported. But let's check and see what is going on in the morning briefing today. We'll talk more about the bond market. We'll talk about where are interest rates going. That's going to be a big question. I know a lot of folks have that on their mind because we got that report last week. 4.06 was the Freddie Mac interest rate number that came out last week. And you have to remember when that survey is done, what that data is telling us, because it does give us some faulty information from time to time. I shouldn't say faulty, a little bit misleading. And the reason I say it's misleading, and I did have this conversation over the weekend with several folks who just didn't understand what the data was telling them, because we did get that report saying 4.06 was the Freddie Mac market survey yield on March 28th when that came out. You have to pay a 0.4 of a point to get it. That was a big drop, 22 basis points, almost 0.25% drop in the interest rates from one week to the next. But Thursday and Friday, the market had already reversed itself. So by the time the data was released Friday, the market had already reversed. And some folks started getting a little bit nervous about it. They want that 4 rate, but it's not there anymore. Today, the market is still in that reversal pattern. We're seeing the market is down. The mortgage-backed security is down 22 basis points. The 10-year Treasury, the yield is at 2.487. So what does all of that mean to you? That's the important part is, all that stuff is just good stuff to know. But the question is, what does it mean to you? How do you use it? We'll talk about that a little bit more in the Mortgage Minute when we come back after the break. But let's check out the morning briefing. I venture to guess Adam Schiff is probably in the news on the Lack of Intelligence Committee. Adam Schiff is so ironic because he uses his office as the chairman of the Lack of Intelligence Committee, and he proves every day that he's not smart enough to understand what his committee's duties are. Right? He's consistently watching over. He thinks he's oversight of the president. Well, the Lack of Intelligence Committee, their job is to oversee the intelligence officers, the Defense Department intelligence, CIA, the State Department intelligence. But Adam Schiff, he's not smart enough to know that. That's a shame, because it is hurting most people in America, because we need those jobs. We need that work to be done by the committees who are charged with doing it. But we've got Adam Schiff, and he doesn't know what his job is. He's not smart enough. He's only out there trying to hurt the president, hurt the American people on a regular basis. So who is doing the job that his committee is supposed to be doing? Well, the answer is nobody is doing that job, because the Lack of Intelligence Committee, they've given up on their role. They're not doing it. Drive you crazy watching out for that one there. It's just amazing that we have to deal with that Lack of Intelligence Committee headed by Adam Schiff. Let's see what else we've got in this morning's daily briefing. The president, here's an issue. A lot of folks are not aware of what the conversation is and what the underlying meanings are. So the president came and says that he's going to shut down the southern border this week to combat the illegal immigration crisis. And in a tweet sent Sunday night, he suggested he was done playing, quote-unquote, Mr. Nice Guy. Democrats are allowing a ridiculous asylum system and major loopholes to remain as a mainstay of our immigration system, according to the Trump tweet. Mexico is likewise doing nothing, a very bad combination for our country. Homeland Security is being so very nice, but not for long, unquote. So here's the issue, and this is a big one for most people to be watching, but they're not talking about this. When they close the border, we know that we can't get the border closed for people. We've already proven that. That's why there's 100,000 coming across now every month. But the part that we aren't talking about is, what about the legal crossings? You close the border, and how about parts for companies like Ford? They don't get them anymore. How about parts and other shipments that are coming across the border? Those go through those legal checkpoints. If they close the border, they will not be coming anymore. Hurt the Mexican economy, but it will not be helpful for our economy either. It may, in the long run, help jobs. It may let companies like General Motors, who moved their businesses down there, it may let them know, hey, you know something? It's more secure to have the manufacturing in the U.S., because when you go in this just-in-time, a lot of these companies deal with something called just-in-time delivery. They have deliveries come in just in time for when they're needed for specific manufacturing or assembly. Well, if the parts don't get here just in time, the assembly has to start. They don't keep a lot of extra parts on hand. That's the whole issue. So you got to watch out for that. That's going to be a big time change. Won't help the Mexican economy, won't help the U.S. economy. But you know something? Maybe something will get the Democrats. I was listening to Dick Durbin yesterday. He's I believe a senator from Illinois. I think he's a senator. So Dick Durbin is saying, well, the president doesn't understand what the consequences will be. Well, here's the issue, Mr. Durbin. Here, what is the Congress doing? I know all you're able to do is say no, 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 or we can't do that, or it's a bad idea, but you never come up with a good idea. You never come up with some solution. And when you're talking about what's going on the border, you need some solutions, Senator. Why don't you come up with something that's positive? Why don't you add to the conversation? Might be just an idea out there. And yes, I did look up. He is the senator from Illinois. Yeah, Jesse Smollett's hometown. Just throw that out there. 2012, Joe Biden back in the news. Whenever Joe Biden's in the news, you know something.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah. Now, I am not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Joe Biden, but I look at this issue that's going on with the accuser, another one of these accusers, Lucky. I think her name is Lucky Flores. She's the one that came out and said that the vice president put his hands on her shoulders inappropriately. Put his hands on her shoulders inappropriately? Really? Is that the best you got there? And it was done during the 2014 campaign? Now, again, I'm not a fan of Joe Biden's, but this is a bit hefty here, and I'm just throwing it out there. What a joke. I mean, come on, get serious. Moving right along, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez back in the news. This is a good one here. I guess we've got to get to the truth for her.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
So she's having a discussion. I believe it was another one of her press conferences or town halls on Friday. And she comes out and she's fascinating that Congress amended the Constitution. Okay, I didn't know Congress can amend the Constitution, but that's neither here nor there, to kick President Franklin Delano Roosevelt out of office. And I'll quote her, they had to amend the Constitution of the United States to make sure Roosevelt did not get reelected, unquote. That was from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez Friday during a night hall event with MSNBC Hee-Haw Chris Hayes. Ocasio-Cortez was referring to the 22nd Amendment of the Constitution, but here's the problem that she does not understand. The 22nd Amendment to the Constitution happened in 1947. FDR died in 1945. He was already out of office. And even if he wanted to, he couldn't have run again because he was dead. Unbelievable. You can't make this stuff up. She gives this to us every single day. She gives us something great to chat about. And you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we've got a great broadcast lined up for you today. 5 reasons to sell your house this spring. Is a club-instated credit card only policy, is it legal? And they want to charge extra to cover the credit card fees. How to protect your information when traveling. How do you save some money each month? Severance packages. Boy, we've got a lot. They gave me a lot of stuff to chat about this morning, so we better get at it. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products for you. Just give me a call at 800-306-1990. I'll put you in touch with the right folk. Dow Jones Industrial Average now, it is up 255 points. NASDAQ up 72. S&P 500 is up 2460 as we speak. I am looking at the 10-year U.S. Treasury. That's up 7 basis points. That would be the yield is up. That the interest rate is up 7 basis points, 2.487. Now, that's an important number for us to talk about because we're also going to talk about the mortgage-backed securities being down 23 basis points, which means interest rates are up. But here's the issue is that 10-year Treasury, we're watching that one very, very closely because that one there we're looking and seeing, are we going to break through that 2.50 barrier? That's a strong barrier right there. It's a psychological barrier. The resistance level is a Fibonacci level at 2.57. So we're watching those. We've got a floor at 2.4, which means that we don't want to, if we go below that, then we could see a nice drop again in interest rates. Now, we've been battling with those levels right there. The 2.4 was a strong barrier for us not to go over that. So we are watching that very, very closely from a technical standpoint. The mortgage-backed securities at that 23 basis points down, interest rates being up, is hitting a level of support there on the downside, a floor. That floor is at 102.618. We're trading right now at 102.58, so we're about 3 basis points below it. We'll see if we close the day below that, and then we're going to have to watch and see, okay, what's going to happen there? And that's been a good chart going up. The likelihood is that the bond, that mortgage-backed security will continue up. Might be just that it's on a holding pattern right now, which is it's good for the market. I know you don't like to hear that, but that is good for the market when they go into those corrections. You don't want anything to go straight up because then you're worried about when is the other shoe going to drop. So we're going to watch that one for you. There was some very strong economic data from China that's helping to ease worries of a global slowdown. I don't believe the data. China, you can never believe them. Going into trade talks that they're having, do you really think that they're going to come out? That's almost like MSNBC or CNN. they're state-run, or they're propaganda machines. I shouldn't say state-run because those aren't state-run. They're propaganda machines for whomever they are trying to collude with. So China, MSNBC, CNN, they all do the same thing. So that's kind of where we're at. That's what's pushing the stock market up. The news from the day, it's a quiet news day, but a busy week. Again, I told you the jobs reports come out. ADP report will be released on Wednesday. The market's expecting 165,000 job creations for the month of March. On Friday, the more important and market impactful BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics jobs report will be released. Market's expecting 170,000 job creation from that report. Previous report, which was for February, claims figures also very strong, low, should point to a strong jobs report. We'll have that discussion later on in the week. 10-year Treasury, again, we already talked about that a little bit. But that is the Mortgage Minute, again, brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. We'll look at the gas prices. We didn't get that in the last segment. 2.692 is where gas prices are on a national level. If you are here in the state of confusion, 3.617 is our price, highest in the nation. 3.617, 15 cents a gallon more than they are paying in Hawaii. Can you believe that? Just drives me crazy. I was in Arizona over the weekend. I paid between $2.58 and $2.85 for gasoline in Arizona, even at one of the places that was right near the border, where you know that they're going to get an exorbitant amount of money. The highest prices in the state probably are right there on the border, because most of us from the state of confusion will go there and we say, okay, you know something, I'm going to wait and gas up right as soon as I get in there because of the benefits from a tax standpoint. And I looked at what the taxes were when I got into Arizona. They have an 18-cent federal tax. Okay, so that's going to be basically all of us are going to pay the same thing on that one. But they have an 18.4 cent state tax. Now, do I think I even want to look and see what our state tax will be here in Taxifornia? Unbelievable. Let's look and see. Okay, Taxifornia, let's see what our taxes are here. Number 7 in the land is what we're paying. Where are we seeing California's? 38.1 cent is just one of the taxes that we have in Taxifornia. Double what they're paying in Arizona. Oh, Alex, you got $2.67 is what you paid there. Yeah, $2.58 was Costco yesterday, and then $2.83 right at the border is what we got yesterday. But amazing, just amazing, and we continue to do these things, leading the country. I mean, is that what we want to lead the country in? Is in taxes or highest gas prices that we have in the land? It's just very, very frustrating. But you know something, it's Taxifornia. We vote for the people to keep taxing us. I was laughing yesterday. I saw that Santa Ana's new sales tax is going into effect. So they tax themselves because they know that they want to have more taxes in Santa Ana. Unbelievable, but that's their way. It's their prerogative. Do you think people are going to go buy things in Santa Ana, or are they going to go across the street into Tustin or Costa Mesa or Fountain Valley? Just throwing that out there. But they have that bill that's coming through that no one's talking about. Nobody wants to chat about this because this is Taxifornia. They always want to talk about how do we get more tax money. $10 million a year in new billing coming from the state to the cities. And it's because the CalPERS, the pension fund, was using a phony number. We told you about this when it happened. But they were using a phony number for their projections on what they could get as a return. They were using like a 7% return on investment. You don't get a 7% return on investment. It doesn't happen. But they wanted to use that in their projections so they could say that there was a shortfall of money. Well, now that they realize that their numbers are bogus, well, now they had to go back and start. They had to go back and bill every state $10 million a month added for the next 5 years. So this year it's 10 million, next year it's 20 million, then it goes to 30 million, and so on. So that each city is going to have to pay their share of these numbers. Well, when you pay the share of the numbers, guess what? They got to come up with that money from someplace. How do they come up with it? Well, you get people in certain areas, certain parts of the political spectrum that say, you know something, let's do things that will raise money, that will generate money. Some of the city council members for Anaheim have said, let's do some public-private partnerships so we can generate that money. Then you've got cities like Santa Ana that don't think that way, and they say, well, you know something, let's just go ahead and increase taxes. Really? So penalize your citizens because of what they're doing. Now, here's the thing. If you're not happy with that concept, you might want to just sit for a minute, just a minute. Think about voting for somebody different in the next election, because if you continue voting for those same people that keep raising your taxes, who keep giving you bad information, do you think they're going to ever give you good information? Probably not. So try changing some of them. Change some of your Congress people. Change some of your state assembly people, state senators. All of them need to get a pink slip because they are not being prudent. They got that choo-choo going. They're not helping you. They spend more money than they bring in. They're not helping you. They give you bad information as far as the pension funds, the pension liabilities. All of these things are detrimental. They should be hit for malpractice is what they really should be. Just thinking about that. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. What employees should know about severance packages. We'll talk about that. 5 reasons to sell your house this spring. How to protect your information when traveling. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, @Ron Siegel. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694552.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Reasons to sell your house this spring. Here are 5 compelling reasons listing your home for sale this spring makes sense. Number 1, demand is strong. The latest buyer traffic index from the National Association of Realtors shows that buyer demand remains strong throughout the vast majority of the country. These buyers are ready, willing, and able to purchase and are in the market right now. More often than not, multiple buyers are competing with each other for the same home. Take advantage of the buyer activity currently in the market. Number 2, there is less competition now. Housing inventory is still under the 6-month supply needed for a normal housing market. This means that in most of the country, there are not enough homes for sale to satisfy the number of buyers. Historically, the average number of years a homeowner stayed in his or her home was 6. But that number has hovered between 9 and 10 years since 2011. Many homeowners have a pent-up desire to move, as they were unable to sell over the last few years due to negative equity situation. As home values continue to appreciate, more and more homeowners are granted the freedom to move. Many homeowners were reluctant to list their home over the last couple of years for fear that they would not find a home to move into. That's all changing now as more homes come to market at the higher end. The choices buyers have will continue to increase. Do not wait until additional inventory comes to market before you decide to sell. Number 3, the process will be quicker. Today's competitive environment has forced buyers to do all they can do to stand out from the crowd, including getting pre-approved for their mortgage financing. Buyers know exactly what they can afford before home shopping. This makes the entire selling process much faster and simpler. According to Ellie Mae's latest Organization Insights report, the time to close a loan has dropped to 47 days. Number 4, there will be a better time to move up. If your next move will be into a premium or luxury home, now's the time to move up. The inventory of homes for sale at these higher price ranges has created a buyer's market. This means that if you are planning on selling a starter or trade-up home, it will sell quickly and you'll be able to find a premium home to call your own. According to CoreLogic, prices are projected to appreciate by 4.6% over the next year. If you are moving to a higher-priced home, it will wind up costing you more in raw dollars, both in down payment and mortgage payment, if you wait. Number 5, it's time to move on with your life. Look at the reason you decided to sell in the first place and determine whether it is worth waiting. Is money more important than being with family? Is money more important than your health? Is money more important than having the freedom to go on with your life the way you think you should? Only you know the answers to these questions. You have the power to take control of the situation by putting your home on the market. Perhaps the time has come for you and your family to move on and start the life you desire. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment. Again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find that dream home before someone else does. So I wanted to chat with you a little bit today about severance packages. A guide to those, what you need to know. Losing your job can be a punch in the gut, both emotionally and financially. You may see it coming if your company is experiencing hard times, or you may be completely blindsided. Sometimes, though, your employer will help ease your transition by offering you a severance package. Severance packages are quite common in the workplace. Employers use them both to help employees while they seek new employment and to protect themselves from public criticism and potential lawsuits. Let's take a look at what you should expect in a severance package and how to negotiate one for yourself. First off, what is in a severance package? Most packages include some amount of pay and continuation of health benefits for a specified period of time. Your severance pay can vary and is often dependent on your tenure and position with the company. According to the Consolidated Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act, COBRA, you are able to keep your health insurance plan for 18 months after you leave your employer. However, this arrangement is costly, which is why some severance packages include a continuation of coverage without forcing you to pay COBRA prices. What is a reasonable amount of severance pay? No legal requirement to offer severance pay. It's up to employers to determine a reasonable amount to provide. Consequently, severance pay can vary quite widely depending upon your seniority, the length of your tenure with the company, and the circumstances of your departure. If you're not a manager, you weren't with the company long, or you terminated with cause, it's quite likely to receive little to no severance. On the other hand, if you were upper management, you spent a long time with the company, or you were laid off rather than fired, you might reasonably expect to see some severance coming your way. Many employers base severance off the employee's years of service. In some industries, the standard is 1 week's worth of salary for every year the employee worked. In other industries, it's a month of pay per year. Top executives at large companies may have a large, quote-unquote, golden parachute, sometimes millions of dollars in severance pay written into their contract. For instance, Marissa Mayer reportedly received $23 million of severance pay at the end of her brief tenure as CEO of Yahoo. Some employees, typically executives or other high-level employees, receive their severance in regular installments. Lower-level employees are more likely to receive a lump sum after their last paycheck. Do employers have to pay severance? Unless your employment contract specifically provides for severance pay, employers don't have any requirement to pay you. But they often do so anyway for a few reasons. Most of the time, the severance pay is in exchange for a written agreement from the employee not to speak negatively of or pursue legal action against the company. Additionally, severance helps employees stay on solid ground while they look for a new job, and it's generally thought of as common courtesy for employers to pay it. Because of this, a company that routinely does not pay severance could develop a bad reputation, potentially hamstringing their ability to recruit top talent. Should you negotiate your severance package? Well, your success in negotiating your severance package will depend on a number of factors. In many cases, an employer applies a uniform methodology to dole out severance to every employee they lay off. Again, this formula will usually depend on a combination of seniority and tenure. Quite likely that they will not budge from this formula unless there are extenuating circumstances. This is particularly true of large-scale layoffs where they're providing severance to a large group of people. If the company has a written severance policy, that's another situation where the amount will not be negotiable. In these situations, the policy was likely in your employment contract, so there wouldn't be much point to negotiating. If your employer does not have a written severance policy and you're not losing your job as part of a reduction in force, may have better luck negotiating. When negotiating, you should decide what you want most from your employer and structure proposals around that. If your biggest priority is pay, demonstrate to your employer how the amount they propose does not adequately reflect the value you generated for the company. If you are in a role that directly generated revenue, you can use your actual contributions to support you. Pay may not be your biggest priority. You could take less pay in exchange for keeping your health benefits for a longer period of time. Additionally, you may want to propose taking less in exchange for a written guarantee from your employer that they will serve as a positive reference when you're applying for a new job. Bottom line, losing your job can be an enormously difficult experience to go through. Severance pay can help you focus on your nascent job search without having to worry as much about the bills. If you lose your job and your employer offers you a severance package, ask yourself a few questions. Is the severance pay reasonable based on your salary and your time with the company? Is the severance package negotiable? What is your biggest priority prior to your job search process? And use these questions to figure out the best path forward. That is just a little bit for you about severance, and you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, is a club-instated credit card-only policy legal? We'll talk about it, how to protect your information when you travel, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp.
and unhappy clients to a private survey so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report, it is wrong. What are you doing about it? Our friends over at Blue Water Credit are where we send folks to get assistance if they need it on their credit scores. Blue Water Credit. Jeff Sipes over there does a great job of helping folks. He's got a great team over there that he works with as well. Is club-instated credit card only policy legal? That is the question today for our Your Credit Matters segment. Excuse me. Had a little frog there. If an organization you belong to instates a credit card only policy and wants you to pay processing fees, you might want to ask them to reconsider. Depending on the state where you live, this could be against the law. So we're just going to share this with you. We're not giving you any legal advice, but here is the original question. Is it legal to charge a surcharge on a credit card transaction when that is the only choice as form of payment? I'm a member of a women's club. You could pay your dues with check or credit card. There was a fee always with credit card choice. Last year, the club stated, not accepting checks anymore, and you must pay with a credit card, and you must pay the processing fee. So, sounds like you don't like the idea that the club is requiring you to pay by credit card. Some states ban surcharges. So, depending on your state, adding one could be illegal, which you might find, let the club owners, club people know that. You might have to want to check with a local attorney. There are some states, again, that's just not legal. And even if it is legal, you may not like it. So try and negotiate with them. Tell them that, something you're going to check with an attorney. You might find and see how many people are upset by it. Just a thought for you. That's the Your Credit Matters segment. Again, brought to you by our friends at Blue Water Credit. Thought for you there a little bit. How to protect your personal information when booking travel. Here's another one that we see get this question quite a bit. We've had quite a few of those breaches lately, and I noticed that some of the companies are actually consolidating. I thought I heard when I was coming in this morning there was another credit breach this morning. But here is the information as best I could find it. So cyber criminals are using data breaches to access the private information of customers who have used travel booking sites, airline sites, hotels, restaurants, GADs. Thieves don't take a vacation. As of early December, there had been more than 1,100 data breaches reported to ITRC, exposing 561 million records. The vast majority of those records came from Marriott International, which disclosed in late November it had been the victim of one of the largest data breaches in history, second only to the 2013 Yahoo data breach, which disclosed information of 3 billion people. So they say. The Marriott incident was one of several data breaches that hit the travel industry in 2018. An overview of how cyber thieves are targeting travelers and how to protect yourself information when planning your next vacation. Personal information of up to 383 million guests was stolen from Marriott's Starwood reservation system over a 4-year period, starting in 2014. The Starwood system covers almost a dozen brands, including Sherwood Hotels and Resorts, Westin Hotels and Resorts, and W Hotels. Cyber thieves stole credit card numbers and card expiration dates from some guests, along with names, addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, Starwood preferred guest information, and passport numbers. Investigators believe the hackers were working for the Chinese government, as Marriott hotels are frequently used by military and government officials. But even those who don't work for the U.S. government are worried about the impact of the data breach, and class action lawsuits have been filed. Cyber thieves will sell stolen personal and credit card information on the dark market, dark web, which can then be used to set up fake accounts in your name. Particularly troubling is the theft of passport numbers, says Yair Levy, professor of information systems and cybersecurity at Nova Southeastern University in Fort Lauderdale. You're starting to deal with a high level of identity theft. Cyber thieves look as much personal information as they can get about a consumer, name, address, date of birth, social, in order to open up a credit card account or bank accounts in your name. That is their goal. Typically, they warn consumers to protect their social security numbers, but those can sell for as little as $2 a piece on the dark web. On the other side of the spectrum, passports fetch $1,000. For under $1,500, a nefarious actor can take over an entire identity. Just crazy how this continues to go on. Be very careful with whatever information you put in. Ask why are they asking for this information? I can't think of a good reason why Marriott needs my social security number. Just throw that out there. See what they have to say. Why are they asking for it? What are they doing? What is their purpose? So be very, very leery of anything anybody asks you in that range. I get this question all the time about Social Security. When is the best time to take Social Security benefits? What is your choice? If you've worked in the U.S. for a decade, you can probably expect to receive some Social Security benefits once you retire. The idea is that if you pay into the system throughout your career in the form of FICA payroll taxes, then you reap the benefits during your golden years. Determining whether you're eligible for benefits and specifically when you can begin receiving them isn't quite as simple as it was back when the program began. Here's how to know if you're eligible, when you can start receiving benefits, and how to maximize your benefits. Progress towards Social Security eligibility is measured in credits. The more you work and contribute to Social Security, the more credits you earn. In order to be eligible for benefits, you need at least 40 credits, which equates to 10 years of work. The exemption to this is if you were born before 1929. Unless you reach 40 credits, you won't be able to receive any form of benefit. Once you've crossed that threshold, however, your benefit amount can change depending on how long you keep contributing and how much you contribute. Simply put, your benefits will increase if you contribute more to the Social Security Fund. To calculate your benefits, Social Security Administration will look at the 35-year period of your highest earnings and use that to determine your primary insurance amount. This is the amount you'd receive if you elect to receive your benefits at what they call full retirement age, FRA. What is your full retirement age? Everyone has an 8-year window during which they can apply for Social Security benefits. The earliest age is 62, and your benefit amount stops rising at age 70. Technically, you could wait until after age 70 to elect, but you'd just be turning down money. Your full retirement age is the age at which you no longer receive smaller amount than your primary insurance amount if you choose to elect. For most of the workforce, full retirement age is 67. 67. There's a full chart that will talk about that depending upon when you were born. Basically, 67 is for those that are born 1960 and later. There are some other factors, so you want to make sure that you talk about these: disability benefits, spousal benefits. Bottom line, if you're eligible for Social Security benefits, as long as you're a legal resident who has worked at least 10 years, once you've earned that eligibility, how you'll optimize your benefits will depend upon your situation. Generally speaking, you can maximize your benefits by working at least 35 years and waiting as long as possible to start taking the benefits. And as always, we ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.